All right. Friends, family. There's no family watching this. But there is my best buddy with me today.
Hello, friend. Hello.
Hello. I said it like you're as if you're not always here.
I'm here.
we have
Big
a
surprise.
we have a special guest today.
It's me.
Yeah. Hello, my friend. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man. It feels like forever since we've done this.
Yeah,
Has it been a while?
it's been a few weeks. Because two Fridays ago I was doing last minute prep for D&D, and then last Friday I had a funeral, so I couldn't
That's right.
do the stream.
That's right. I
So
forgot we didn't do it
yeah.
2 weeks ago as well.
So, but we're out here, you know.
We're here. How are you
So
doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I think we've talked about this a lot, but Fridays are tough for me because I usually like get apprehensive about all the things I didn't do, and since we didn't have a Monday this week, I was always confused the whole week on what day it was. Like when we were
Yeah.
recording yesterday, and it was like watch party tonight. I was like, wait, did we record yesterday? Yeah, we did. 2 days ago,
Yeah,
though, we did
yeah.
our CR episode, and I was like, what the heck? What day is it? So, all that to say, I got a lot of work, and anyway, it's tough.
I feel that. I was thrown off all week as well, but like in a way that doesn't make sense I, because there was anyway, yesterday felt like Friday to me,
Hmm.
which
Okay.
you would think would be the opposite since
Yeah.
it was like a weird shortened Monday thing. Anyway, it's not important, but
Maybe because you were starting your Chancellor weekend,
maybe
you know?
maybe that's why.
So
I guess that makes sense.
what's your go-to on like bachelor weekends? Like, do you get like certain foods or snacks, or like for me, I typically like wear the same pajamas until my family comes back, you know? And then they're like, were you wearing that before? Like, I did some laundry. Yeah.
I don't know if I have like it honestly doesn't happen that much. So like I don't know if I have like there's nothing ritualistic in the sense of like I'll always get
Mhm.
this food or anything, but
Yeah.
I usually do eat pretty poorly for sure. Like,
Nice.
use that as an excuse. Really, it's just laziness of like ordering something out.
Do you have a go-to fast food place?
Man, not really. I mean, it used to be Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
which
That's
I'll
right.
still get that. I'll still get that occasionally, but not as like hardcore as I used to.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? Okay, now that I'm thinking about this, Ashley doesn't like Wingstop, so normally that's when I'll get that.
Mm.
I've had like a not the best experiences the last few times I've gotten it, and it's so ridiculously expensive now that it's
Yeah.
like hard for me to just want to get that anymore.
Food in general has I mean, it's gotten kind of crazy.
Yeah.
My wife was offering to pick me up some fast food the other night, and I was just like, I don't know what I want. She was like, Taco Bell, and I was like, no. Like, it was just a resounding no. Um,
Yeah.
as much as I love T-Bell, their prices are, and I think also this is kind of married by like, those TikTok accounts where the person works in the fast food store and they're like,
Hmm.
hey, so if you ever wondered how we make the blank, this is how we do
Yeah.
it. But one I saw it was like, here's how we do our refried beans. And it was literally like a frozen bag that they put in boiling water. And then they like cut it open and poured it back into the water as like this slurry. And I was
Yeah.
like, why am I
I-
spending so much on this?
Ignorance is bliss when it
Yeah.
comes to that type of stuff. But yeah, I think we've talked about this before. But yeah, it's ridiculous how expensive it's gotten.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
I'd rather just get like a real restaurant because it's
oh,
like
oh,
sometimes the same price, if not cheaper.
yeah. And I think that's like so for like on the business side of things that I talk about, like that's the thing that's been the most shocking has been how, back in the day, I feel like fast food, it was like, okay, yeah, it's junk food, but it's cheap. Now we're in this weird place where local restaurants are cheaper than what you'll pay at a
Yeah,
fast food restaurant. It's very bizarre to me. I don't understand it.
I don't either, man.
So, uh, Carrot Plush joked said a surprising guest for you.
I'm
Uh,
happy to be here. I'm
and
happy to be
then
here.
Philmatic said, hello there, my lovely nerds. Will, your hair's looking lovely as always.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
+1
you.
to that. Sending
Thank
y'all
you.
love from Thailand. Talking about food, we're back at the Thai food train. Yes, I haven't had good Thai food. feel like we always say this, by the way.
I had some actually last night.
Okay,
So
cool. Where's your
I'm out
go-to?
here.
Where do you go for your Thai food?
Well, it was actually leftovers, so I had it 2 nights in a row. But
Yeah.
where do we oh, Thai Spice, I think.
Yeah. I
There's a
like
couple there's like 2 or 3 places we'll go
yeah.
depending on what dishes we want, but
My
yeah,
only
pretty good.
issue with Thai spice is it has kind of like the vibe of the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, where like anytime I go there, they're kind of just like, yeah, this is gonna take forever. And I'm like, I ordered a kid's pad Thai like 30 minutes ago, and they're like, yeah. I'm like,
I
okay.
we I don't know if I've ever well, I've been in there, but I don't think I've ever like eaten in there.
Yeah.
Like we always get it to go.
Yeah.
So I've
So
never had to experience that, but it feels like it would fit.
yeah. But yeah, the other thing about like the price of fast food, I had this revelation. And maybe I've mentioned this on our show, but have you had CJ's?
Mhm.
You know, it's a pretty tasty burger.
Yeah.
But it's like 14, $15. And then I went to Freddy's and it was like 11.99. And
Mm.
I was like, why am I paying for this when I can literally get like this big, juicy, like double cheeseburger, like
Yeah.
literally across the street? Um,
Yeah. It's
so
ridiculous.
did you see that Panera Bread picture that I posted yesterday
Yeah.
from the
Yeah, I
that
did.
Redditor? Yeah, I mean that's a good
Uh,
example of it right
yeah, I
there.
forget about the Briar Rose, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
Briar Rose.
Yeah. I think I've only been there like one time, but
Yeah, they got
I
awesome
I
breakfast. It's a little bit of a ways for you nowadays, but anyway.
yeah.
Um, watched Rings of Power episode 2 last night.
Ooh. I still haven't checked it out.
The
Still good?
Rings of Power stock is still high. I will tell
Okay.
you. I am still
Okay.
very much enjoying it. We had multiple outfits on characters this episode, which that was a gripe of mine in the first season of why does everyone always wear the same clothes for $1 billion show?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
it was like, this is their clothes. Now, I will say the wizard, I think Gandalf-esque character, which I can't remember if that was confirmed or not to be Gandalf, still only
Yeah.
wears, the moth-eaten robes, which
Right.
I'm thinking, hey, man, we can get you something. I feel like the halfling's like, hey, we could get you, and he's like,
Like I prefer this.
so,
Um Good to hear that it's still
yeah,
hopeful
so
to
far.
too deep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I don't know when I will though, but maybe this weekend.
yeah.
Are there still just 3
It's been
episodes?
four episodes.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
Tengu Monk said, I haven't gone out to eat in 10 years.
Dang.
Man, are you a home chef? What's your strategy?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Very impressive. And very admirable too. I think, well,
Yeah.
on the flip side, I'm on a big like shop local kick. So I'm like support our local businesses, but very admirable to, not rely every meal on eating out. So Carrot Plush said, wizards don't do laundry. That's fair.
Prestidigitation would be an incredible. I don't know
That's true.
if that would get the job done necessarily, but I mean, I would never do laundry again if I had that. So
This opens like a weird conversation of like what were like those random tweets of crazy lady who did Harry Potter.
oh, JK
Yeah, who's
Rowling.
gone off the deep end. But I feel like there was like a tweet
Hmm.
of hers talking about like the early days of wizardry and how wizards would just like poop on the floor or
Oh
something.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was like, man, you're really like lore diving hard on.
I seem to recall that. And then they would just like spell it
Yeah,
away or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, that was interesting.
yeah, people
I
over the.
can't
It's weird. Like I think that's a weird thing. I don't know if you feel the same way. Like people from our childhood, but like characters who like seeing people change significantly over the years. It's
yeah.
kind of a weird thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Tengu says yes, as well as a nutritional scientist.
Oh,
Once I see the nutritional information of various places, I can't unsee it. Um, I love that. My wife is not a nutritional scientist, but there was a moment when we were first married where, like, walking through the aisle of the grocery store to get all of like my favorite foods, she was showing me like food labels, like, we can't get it because of this. And I was like, I just want to get my SpaghettiOs, lady. Like, what's the deal? So I will say it was eye opening how much sugar and high fructose corn syrup is in like literally everything we eat. Um,
yeah,
so,
not the best.
um, so yeah. Other than that, Filmatic's comment, "Oh my lord, finally someone who isn't hating on Rings of Power." This was something that I mentioned to my wife last night without spoilers, or without, I'll say like a very tiny light spoiler.
Yeah.
The dwarves in this season, the female dwarves have facial hair, which
Mm.
they didn't in the first season. And my wife was like, "So like, why'd they change it?" And I was like, "Because people lost their mind. Like people who were not just like, oh hey, that's different." People were like, "That's not respectful of the source material," and like yada yada yada. And
Yeah.
so we had like this whole conversation about how there's like fans who will appreciate a show, and then there's like the really toxic people who like it has to be a very certain way,
Hmm.
um, which I'm indifferent regardless. The only time it bothers me is when I'm like, yeah, that was a good episode, and then people are like, no, you can't enjoy that. It wasn't
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The exception
Yeah.
being season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Oh, don't remind me. Yeah, I've been encountering a lot of that recently of people who like. I mean, not to just beat the dead horse, but there's a difference between like not liking something and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But when you cross the line of like being like, no, like you have to agree with my opinion type of situation, that's just where it gets weird.
It does get weird. It's like this weird place where like someone can't share a preference without. A good example of this would be, I think we just keep coming back to Reddit. A Reddit thread I saw the other day about that CR episode where um, Marisha tried to take the sword from
Mm,
Orem,
yeah.
and how like it didn't, it basically was like, yeah, all these, it was very clear that Matt wanted Marisha to be able to take it. And if I was Liam, I'd be fuming. I'd be so angry, yada, yada. And I was reading it and just thinking to myself about how like Liam's gone on record to say like that was his all time favorite moment so far of campaign 3.
Yeah.
And so like, to your point, it can't just be like well, I don't really like how that scene played out, or if it was my table, I would have done it differently, but it's not my table, and like leave it at that. Instead, it's like all these other layers to it that
Mm,
are just kind of
yeah.
weird.
Like, no, Liam's wrong. And this is
Yeah.
why it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
Classic.
classic internet.
Indeed. Did you watch any CR last night?
I did. I watched the whole thing.
No.
How
I did
about
not see much of it. I was like just zonked out from I had to get up early yesterday to take Ashley to the airport. And so I
right?
tried, but my eyes were fighting against me. Was it a good app?
It was. It was. Yes, but caveat being, not much happened.
Mm,
So,
okay.
and even to like a level for like the recap, I'm second half, and I'm like, man, like, what am I even gonna say about this?
Yeah.
Um, it might be a recap speed run. So,
Yeah.
still a great episode though. I still enjoyed it, even though there's not much to say about it. The next episode is going to be really good though. I can tell.
Interesting.
So, um, Adam said, "Have y'all seen the newest 20 SD? Are you saying Dimension 20 or Four-Sided Dive or something that is over my head?"
Mm. I have not seen Four-Sided Dive, if that's what it's referring to. Um, but I did see I saw they announced their next Dimension 20 series, which is a sequel to Misfits and Magic, which I haven't
Yes.
seen. But I've heard that's a really good one. Like that's
Um,
one people often recommend.
Adam, are you referring to the interview that Taliesin did? I can't remember what that was called. Taliesin was live doing questions and answers
Oh yeah,
the other
like
day.
the Beacon fireside chat.
Yeah. Yeah. But Adam says they addressed the Taliesin choice and fallout, and I'm glad they finally did. That's also another really good example of something that people just couldn't just share their take on it. There had to be like so much emotional like drama and implications underneath the surface that, it made for
Is
great D&D.
is this the
I'm
fire
assuming,
shard
yeah, I'm assuming we're talking about, the
choice?
shard.
Yeah.
That Matt did not do a good job of communicating. He should not
Mhm.
take it. So
Yeah, I need to watch Four-Sided Dive.
that was a joke, by the way, for our listeners. That was just a dig at Will because we we see it differently. Eric says the first half was banging though. Yes, that's very true. Was a very good I mean, the whole thing was good. So, Eric says Misfits and Magic would be a good Sunday Fun Day candidate. I've never seen it, but I went on like a little rabbit trail of clips when the trailer was shown, I guess yesterday or the day before. And then that just took me down a rabbit trail of Brennan Lee Mulligan content, as is the norm, I guess. But
Classic. I still need to finish Fantasy High.
yeah, there's a lot of just Dimension 20 content that I need to binge on, honestly. And aren't episodes pretty short compared to CR?
Compared to CR, yeah. And I haven't seen that much. So all my knowledge comes from basically Fantasy High, which I think I only have the finale of season 1 left.
Yeah, okay.
But combat and non-combat are separate episodes. So like
Okay.
the episode 1 will be like 2 hours of RP. Episode 2 will be an hour and a half combat. Episode 3 will be back to RP.
Right.
Now there's nuance there, but that's like the very generic way. So I don't know if every Dimension 20 campaign is like that or not.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think Ravening War was like that. Maybe it was.
I think it was. But maybe not,
remember.
actually. Ravening War was unusual, too, in that I can't remember I shouldn't say unusual. I don't know how different it was from the usual, like, cadence of a D20 series.
Yeah.
So, we'll say the production value of D20 is very good. Everything from the cameras to, like, the set is really good. I really like that. So, anyway, we have Vox Machina season 3 coming soon. You excited?
I am.
Are you going to hit the editing room or?
I mean, yeah, I think I might shift how I did it, but yeah, we're definitely going to do it.
Yeah. Cool.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it looks like a good season.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They haven't announced any different, so I'm sure it's going to be the same, but I guess it's going to be a 3 episode a week type of situation again.
Yeah, it could be. I was going to ask you, I know Mighty Nine, I think Travis Willingham had come out. There was a quote about the Mighty Nine series, and I don't have it in front of me, so I can't read it. But it was something along the lines of, for the sake of the show, there's going to be some departures, some differences. And it sounds like you didn't see that quote, so maybe I should pull it up real quick because I'd love to get your
yeah, I don't think I saw that.
Your take on it. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Here we go. Okay. Let me find an actual quote here. Okay, so and this is just like a section of it. He says, we're deep in production. Everything's going smoothly. We could say it's bigger or better, whatever other buzzwords, but there's going to be a lot of little nuggets that you'll be able to share with the world. However, Willingham also added the show would be different than the original storyline, which played out over however many episodes. After discussing several divergences that The Legend of Vox Machina has from the original stories, Willingham noted that they took the same approach with their new show. It's almost like, this is the quote, It's almost like how we took season 3 of Legend of Vox Machina with that slight divergence from what was really more of a canonical telling and started to experiment with changing the storyline up, which I wonder then if that means season 3 is going to have some pretty meaningful differences. Willingham adds, the Mighty Nine is from the get-go a complete departure. You're still going to get the things you love and the story moments, but the way we've gone about it is a totally different approach, and we think one that people will love. We're going to be sounding the alarm very early in that you're coming into the characters you love, but a totally new story. Reactions, my friend?
That's interesting. Um, I know what he's referencing in season 3. I don't know if it's not. I mean, I guess it's not really a spoiler, but I don't know if I'll say it or not. In terms of what they've changed in Vox Machina season 3 compared to the original. But it sounds like all the changes that have been in Vox Machina have made tons of sense to me. Like
Yeah.
they suit the medium. They are able to like have foreshadowing and stuff, which you obviously can't have in the original campaign. At least, not really. Sure, Matt can do some stuff, but um, so like if that was what was coming in season 2, that would make a lot of sense. But it seems like it's going beyond that based on that quote.
Yeah, I mean, he says it's a complete departure. So
Yeah, so I believe him, but I also don't think it could. Surely he doesn't mean like truly a complete
yeah,
departure.
there's no jester. It's just Sarah.
Because I do know that in the little animatic that they teased at one point, I don't even remember what it was for. Like not an official trailer, but they showed like a first look at like Ford and Jester in a quick scene. That scene they show never happened because that moment was, let's call it session 0, for lack of a better word. So like that, the fact that that's getting adapted and animated is brand new. Like I don't know if complete departure would be the right word necessarily, but um yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I feel like it is just going to be the same types of stuff they've done in season 1, but maybe just on a grander scale. But yet, because yeah, like Eric just said, I doubt they're going to skip like the main story beats, but maybe they just kind of like
Yeah. So you
make
don't
things make more sense, like
Yeah. So you don't think
I
they'll change like a certain character death or anything like
yeah,
that? Okay.
I can't like somebody. I remember seeing something like, so I can't remember the example at all, but I saw somebody talk about how like they might combine a couple things from Mighty Nine in a certain location just to make it make more sense, instead of like you go here and then we're all the way over here and then we're back here for this. Like instead it
Yeah.
might just be both of those things happen while we're here. So
Yeah.
like if it's that type of stuff, that all makes sense to me. But again, the words complete departure are a bit strange. So I don't know.
Yeah, Filmatic added, quote, a totally new story is him referring to how these characters met each other and more of their session 0 stories coming more into play. It's not a complete departure from the story, but how the story unfolds. So I could see that being the case.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that adds up with the
And
animatic that I was talking about too.
and I wonder if they'll also be a bit more intentional is not the right word, but Ashley Johnson with Yasha. I know from what I did see, I think she gets captured or leaves or something because Ashley was recording whatever the show was called.
Yeah, Blind Spot.
Blind Spot, right. Which always makes me laugh about that cancel Blind Spot campaign to get her back. So maybe there could be some changes there, I guess. But I did, shameless plug for Will's breakdowns. Having not seen all of campaign 1, your breakdowns were really good of you pointing out like, hey, here's a change and here's why they changed it, and it makes total sense. So it'd be interesting to get some of that too.
Yeah. So I have full faith in whatever it is they're doing, because I would be hard pressed to believe anyone cared more than they do about accurately adapting it. So I put faith in their decisions on whatever changes they're planning to make.
I totally agree, and this is not a dig, but on the same token, I love like the little like main story NPC references where like people are like, who is that again? They're like, that's like the main character. Or I won't spoil it, but there's a moment in last night's episode where Kravirus gets mentioned, and Travis is like, "What is that again? Isn't that somewhere important?" And Matt's like,
Yeah.
"It's the capital of Ruidus," but yeah. So anyway, okay. Well, any other news or anything you want to talk about today, Will?
It's not really well, okay, two quick things. The first is for those of you that are in here who don't really know what our demographic is, but you need to watch Worlds Beyond Number if you haven't. Listen to it rather, because Arc 3 just ended. So once again, it's the perfect time to catch up between arcs. So just a quick plug for that. And then secondly, I think we have some fans in the community as well. I know Arcane season 2 is about to come out. So I still haven't seen season 1, but I'm gonna watch it before season 2 starts. So maybe we could do like watch parties for season 2 or something.
Yeah, Arcane is incredibly excellent.
No, I've only heard good things. So
yeah, I'm nervous about promoting it too high to you, where you like, because I think I say I'm nervous. I think I texted the other day that it's the best animated show I've ever watched.
yeah, I mean, it's not just you though, but because I've heard that from basically everyone that talks about it. So the expectations, I won't lie, are absurdly high. But it's not like
Yeah.
I'm going into it and like expecting the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I'm expecting good.
It's just a very well-made, beautiful, well-acted, incredible show.
You just keep going.
And part of it too, I think, is the fact that I watched it with my wife, who doesn't do anything like that, and for her to kind of enjoy it with her also, where she was like, wow, like that also, it was like someone also discovering a medium of entertainment that they wouldn't have, maybe kind of like one of the first times we watched D&D together, where she was like, oh, this is really cool. So
see, Ashley's the same way. So I kind of want to like try that with her, but like, I don't know. I think she's too close-minded on this particular subject. She's like, no, I just don't like animation and stuff. And I'm just like, but you like not there. It's not all the same, like it's just a medium. Like there's definitely like you could find something that you would like.
It's how you, I think it's how you talk about it. Cause when Joy and I were like first married, she was like, we were like walking through a Barnes and Noble and she was like, ugh, anime. I just think it's so weird. And I was like, I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I love all these different things. We should have talked about this before we got married. Oh my gosh. But anyway.
Made a huge mistake.
So
yeah. So I have faith that it's just if she'll actually give it a shot. I know there's shows that she would like. So maybe Arcane is one that I should be like, hey, let's watch this.
Yeah.
So.
Ask her if she'll watch like a couple of episodes and see what she thinks about it. So anyway. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today, fam.
Last, it's not like a subject of discussion, but have you played any more Elden Ring since we last spoke?
I've not, only because I was out of town the last 2 weekends, and then busy with work, and then WoW, the retail expansion came out. So but I'm going to be very intentional about it over the next couple of weeks because I love the game. It's very good.
Yeah. I still haven't played the DLC, so I need to do that as well. But yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Is War Within still?
Yeah, I haven't been able to play it too much, but yeah, it's been super fun. So, all right. Well, we appreciate you all tuning in today. As always, make sure you're in the Discord, and that's pretty much it. We'll see you later.